There we
There we
go.
go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So I'm going to kind of be talking to you, and then I might not respond right away to you, but I am here and listening, okay? I might just be typing some stuff
Yeah, no
down, all
problem, man.
right? All right. What's your first and last name, son?
Dontae Wilson, Dontae Wilson.
All right, perfect. Dontae Wilson, Wilson.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Wilson, how long have you been in this city of concrete for?
Oh, 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. But I've put in a lot of hours
Okay, okay.
within those weeks. So
I got you. I got you. Do you have any prior experience in the police department,
Told you to
whether it be
watch out, bro.
sheriff or LSPD
yes,
or
are you talking about here?
you know, here or prior?
So yeah, that's actually one of the things that I talked to Swavey about that I feel like I can really bring to the table with you guys. So in my head, I actually studied to be a cop, and almost went through with it, but I had a career-changing opportunity that led me to somewhere else. And outside of that, in another city, I was actually the chief of police for a long time. I mean, that was a couple years ago, but I
Okay,
do have a lot of experience with PD in and out of the city.
understand. Good, good, good. Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you. I mean, you've been in the city for 3 weeks. It seems like you got a lot going on for yourself out there. What brings you to the LSPD? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
550 going 10-7 for a couple minutes.
I said, you know, we're obviously glad to have you here and wanting to come aboard, but you do seem like you have a lot of activity going on out there in the last 3 weeks. What brings you to the LSPD? What brings you here and makes you want to come aboard?
A lot of activity. What do you mean by that?
I heard you over there talking about being one of the top truck
Oh,
drivers and
okay.
stuff. You know,
I thought you were talking about illegal. Like I've got nothing.
no,
My
sir, no,
record's
sir,
clean as white can be, man.
no, 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 sir, no, sir, no. Clean as white can be.
So,
That's funny.
I mean, one of the main changes, especially that I've had a conversation with, is it Swavi or Swavy? I don't want to pronounce his name wrong.
Swavy's fine. He's okay,
With
Swavy.
or
Yep.
Chief,
Your
Chief,
chief is
right?
perfect. Yep, Chief Williams, Chief
Okay,
Swavy,
so
yep, Chief
one of the
Brown, yep.
main conversations I've had on the city website with Chief, and he's even told me, I mean, it's all there. You can go read the thread that he really thinks that I have a lot of good ideas, and I think a lot of that comes from my prior experience in PD in and out of the city. There's a lot of things in the city that I feel like can be changed, and one of them is the interaction.
5+1.
Exactly what I was just going
Responding to the
over.
Luton 1013.
Yep.
The interaction between the citizens and the PD. I think that's one thing that definitely needs to change, and I think the good cop bad cop thing needs to change a little bit. So I feel like I can come in and make a difference with those interactions with people, and give people breaks when they need them, and bring justice when justice needs brought.
Okay. Okay. I
I'm here
like
to
that.
change. I'm here to change the city, not change myself.
Okay. Well, since you did say that, what do you
I
think?
also I have
What
one
are?
more thing to add to that,
Go
if you
ahead.
don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I
10-10
also know that
Roswell.
you guys are getting ready to move to to Sandy Bay and Polito Bay in that area, and I'm definitely interested in that, and honestly interested in the opportunity to get into a higher command position over in that area because I know you guys need it, and I know someone with experience would definitely be needed over there.
Okay. All right. And what do you think? What do you think are some things? I know you kind of just answered this in your last question, but what are like? Give me like three things you can bring here to the LSPD.
Well, absolutely, I can bring the experience. I mean, in and out of the city. I definitely think out of the city for sure is the
Uh huh.
biggest one because I have that um, that relation to people that most people that are just in the city normally, and in their head they have different workforce. I feel like that in head workforce can really help people in the interactions. I would know how to go about things in a different manner than I feel like most people would that haven't been in that position. um, and then obviously going along with that is my number one, the experience I've had as the chief of police. You can trust me to get stuff done, you can trust me to be here, you can trust me to um, want to drive towards that higher position and put the work in. Number two is I can definitely help change the way that people view police and PD. I know that right now people view PD as just a bullet bag or another target as soon as you get into a traffic stop, and I feel like if if you're nicer to people and you give people breaks when they need them, if they're going through a hard time in their life, you could really make a difference. And that creates a bond with the citizens of the city. So that's definitely one I can bring. And then I think number three is you bring someone to the table that's hardworking, and again, it goes aside with number one is bring somebody that wants to get to the top and has been to the top. So I know what to do and know what it takes.
Okay. All right. All right. And if you were to say there might be three things that you would need to improve on, what would they be?
Um, I need a minute to think about that if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. While you think about that, uh, you know, we do kind of operate here on, really three main core values. And that's integrity, accountability, but most importantly, something you have been talking about here is respect, right? Not just respect between one another, but respect between us and the citizens, right?
I think one thing that pops into my head is, I work really, really well by myself.
Uh huh.
One thing that I struggle with is working as a group, and I don't mean that in a super negative manner. It's just something more or less that I'm not used to. It's not something that I can't do, or I'm not a team player. It's nothing like that. It's just something that it's odd to me because I've always been kind of a lone wolf.
Uh huh.
Um, so that's definitely one thing I would need to improve on is being okay with somebody helping me out, because I do tend to like to do stuff on my own, but there are times in your life that it is okay to have somebody help you.
Right. Okay.
Now, number two is I would honestly say to cut down on my speed. I do have kind of a lead foot, and I definitely know being a police officer, you want to cut down on speeding and breaking traffic violations and stuff like that, because we are the representation of the city. So that
Uh
would
huh.
probably be number two.
Okay.
And number three, just getting. I mean, there's always room to improve on de-escalating situations. I mean, coming from someone that's been in a higher command, at the highest command, in a PD department in another city, there's always room to improve in de-escalating situations. Because I mean, let's be honest, you never know what's going to happen when that person rolls down that window. It could be a gun. It could be a woman crying. It could be you know just weird stuff happening in the backseat. I mean, you never know. So knowing how to de-escalate situations and narrow down what the actual problem is something that you always need to work on as a police officer.
Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna bounce around here just a little bit because I feel like
Yeah, no
some of
problem.
these you might know, but you know, some of the things, we really operate on three core values here, right? I did say this, but I think you were kind of
No, I
thinking
heard you.
about
I
your
heard
answers.
you.
Right. Right. And that's integrity, accountability, and
And
respect. And
respect. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. So, do you have any objections to those three core values? Do you feel like you'd be
absolutely
able
not.
to uphold those?
Absolutely.
Good, good, good. Okay. And I know this might be an easy one for you. But in your own words, explain probable cause to me.
Probable cause would. I mean, is it okay if I give you an example?
Sure.
So, let's say that I pull you over and I smell marijuana inside the vehicle. That gives me probable cause to, at least at bare minimum, question you. And then if I feel like you have any possession on you, there would be probable cause to search the vehicle for illegal substance. That would be an
Okay.
example of probable cause. Or, another example, I pull you over and you open fire on me. I then have probable cause to open fire back on you in self-defense.
Okay. Okay. Let me give you a little different scenario. Something without a scent or a taste, right?
Okay.
Uh, let's say you get a suspicious activity call for down at New Empire Way. Okay. Right here at the airport in Los
Mm-hmm.
Santos. Okay. And you pull up, and there's just a guy kind of, hanging around talking to some locals. Does that give you the probable cause to detain and search that man's pocket?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Questioning would be the very first thing I would do. I would just ask him, hey man, what's going on? And just try to talk to him and see what he's doing. I mean, until there's probable cause, there's really nothing I can do as a police officer.
Okay. Let's say you get a more distinctive suspicious activity call. And you just kind of go down there and maybe you see this guy talking to a few people, and they're walking away from him, but you didn't really see him make any handoffs or anything, right? You just kind
Same
of seen him
thing.
talking.
I would just talk to him, or I would talk to the people walking away and see what they were saying, and then I'd go talk to him, or vice versa.
All right. All right. Now, let me give you another scenario. Same
Okay.
thing, but now you've witnessed a handoff. Does that give you probable cause? If it
I
was for
mean,
maybe
yeah,
a drug call.
yeah, yes, in a sense, because I mean, if you're able to get everybody into, let's say they're walking away and they're 10 feet from me, I can stop those people and have them come back, and then I
Yep.
can talk to all three of them. Now, if they run off, then
There you
obviously
go.
I'm still going to take the same approach. I'm going to question the guy and I'm going to ask him, can I search you? I saw you hand him something, and they ran off, which gives me suspicious probable cause that, he may have just done a drug deal. Now he may not have anything on him, but it's better to check than to not
Okay.
check in that situation.
Yep. So you're pretty familiar with the difference then between what you
Oh
just
yeah.
explained, right?
Oh
RS
yeah.
and PC, you're good with, all right?
Yeah, you can't just walk up to somebody and go, empty your pockets. That's not how
Yep.
PD works.
Yep. All right. Good. Okay.
A lot of
How do you,
people get very power hungry when they become PD, and I've had to fire a lot of people because of that.
good. Okay. Now, how would you say your last employer would describe you?
Are we talking in this city as far as trucking or?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Oh, I mean, they would describe me as one of the most reliable guys here. I'm always on the radio. If they need any help, I'm one of the first guys there. I've taken on, not only being one of Slickback's personal drivers for his own business, but I'm always running loads. I'm always helping new people out. They're hiring me to be the lead trainer there, stuff like that. So, I mean, it would always it would always be reliability for sure.
Okay. All right. Uh, let's say an officer is being disrespectful towards you with the way they're talking to you. What do you think the next steps would be? Could
Sorry, I
you?
was in my head. My dad came
Uh,
into my head. Sorry
uh,
about that.
all good. If an officer was being disrespectful to you, with the way they're talking to you, what would be your steps here? What do you think? What would you do?
Well, first thing, like I said at the very beginning of this, de-escalation is obviously number one, and it would be more or less, like, hey, can we civil this out and talk about it? Like, I don't understand why we got to be this way. We're both in the same company. We both work for the same goals, and then, if it gets worse, then, I mean, I'm not going to be the type of guy to, fight or do anything like that. My first reaction would be, go talk to the next guy higher up or talk to maybe one of his friends and, hey, did he have a rough day? Or, you don't want to make assumptions when people are disrespecting you because there's a lot of things that can go on in somebody's life that can change the way they talk.
Yep. Okay.
Um, and I'm definitely not one to make assumptions. So I would definitely go talk to somebody else before I, really address the situation. But
Okay.
I'm never going to be one to escalate the situation. Always de-escalate. That's almost priority number one with being a police officer is always learn how
Right.
to de-escalate.
Right. Okay. Good. Uh, do you have any knowledge of the 10 codes inside the city?
Not this city. I know every city is different. I mean, obviously, I know like 10-4 and all that stuff. If
Right.
you give me a list, I would have them memorized in probably a day.
Yeah.
It's totally different in every city I've ever been to. So,
Absolutely. I agree.
but yes, I know how to use them. I know how to talk to dispatch, all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty basic once you get access. Did anybody give you access? Well, no, because you're just through the interview phase here.
No,
So we'll
sir.
get through all that. Right. So, like, essentially, you got, obviously 10-4 is affirmative, stuff like that. Around here we have like 10-13 shots fired. Okay. 10
Yep.
15, right? 10-15 is a robbery. 10-17 suspicious person. 10-97, right, would be en route, unless you're saying 10-19.
Those are
En
actually
route
very
would be to your
similar.
pillbox. So,
Those are very similar to my old city, so that works out perfectly.
okay, good. All right. Do you have any criminal cousins?
I do not. I am the only family member in the city.
All right. Okay. Now, this might be the most important answer here, son. I need you to listen close.
Yes, sir.
If I had 5 apples and I ate 3, how many would I have left?
2.
Very good, son. Don't overthink the situation. Stand on up.
What muscle is it?
Just go hit your, hands up. X up. Yep.
Aha. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Give me 1 second here, okay?
Yes, sir.